All right. Good morning, Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, and welcome to our weekly sales meeting. Very excited to have you all with us today after our little hiatus last week for the Memorial Day holiday. We are diving right back in with some big wins from the month of May and some great agent interviews, partner updates, and then rounding this thing out with a conversation around how to gear up our business plans and our business for the second half of the year, which, in case you missed it, we're over a week into June and barreling towards that halfway mark on July 1st. All right, first things first, we did not get to celebrate these last week as we would like to right at the start of the month, but here they are, our birthdays for the month of June. And I do see a young Mr. Scott Phillips on the list here. I also see him in the Zoom today, and we love seeing that. Scott is turning some number of years young. We won't say. Scott's one of the few people that gets embarrassed by how young he is, always aiming to age himself up. All right. And then happy anniversary to these individuals who are in a position that they are kicking off another year with Keller Williams and another year with Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan. Could not be happier to be in business with all of these folks. Incredibly excited that we'll get to do another year with them and hopefully many, many more. And as we like to start each week, wanted to revisit one portion of our organization's mission, vision, values, and beliefs and perspective. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about the vision of the company, which is to be the real estate company of choice for our agents and their customers. It's really important to us as a leadership team, the owners of this company, both locally and internationally, that we are consistently asking the question, what can we do better? What do our agents need? What is the expectations from the customers in the marketplace of the agents? And then how do we help everybody deliver on that? And so in a little bit, Danielle is going to talk about a couple things that we're doing to help with that. But very excited to have this as our vision. And it is something that we as a leadership team and the Agent Leadership Council think about and talk about a lot. So if you ever have questions or if you ever see an opportunity where we could be more compelling or better fulfill this mission, feel free to let us know. All right, guys. So a couple weeks ago, we started a new Paint the Town Red practice. And so every Thursday morning at 9 a.m., Danielle is posting this image in the Facebook group. And we're asking everybody, look, we know that it's a crazy market. We know that our clients are begging us to find them off-market properties, and we are working to sell through our listings at record speed, and in an effort to consolidate those opportunities so that someone could go to a specific thread at any given time and look at everything that's coming and going in the market. This would be the one. Also, that doesn't mean that we're not going to do it during our sales meetings. So please feel free now to drop in your buyer needs and your new listings or your coming soons into the chat. Give yourself the opportunity to make a love connection here in the chat box. And then don't forget to post it again Thursday morning in the thread for Paint the Town Red. The thread for Paint the Town Red. I love it. All right, guys, let's talk about May. I know it seems like it is probably a lifetime ago at this point that we were in May, but want to revisit just a really, really outstanding performance for the company and for our agents individually, our teams. There was so much achievement and accomplishment in May. And so what you're looking at here, the first column is May 21 versus May of 20. and the rightmost column is January through May of 2021 versus January through May of 2020. As you can see, we are up across the board. I want to call out one specific piece of the puzzle here, which is listings taken. You told us as a leadership team, hey, listen, listings are important in this market, and we need some help, figuring out how to take more listings, the conversations to have, the ways to frame it for people who don't want to move or are scared to move. And we leaned into that as an organization, and you leaned into each other. Listings taken for May up 22.6%, the most listings taken in any May in the history of our company. What's the really important qualifier here, and the thing you'll want to keep in mind when you're talking to potential listing clients, is that this is not a sign of the times. This is not just everybody's taking more listings, right? The market, the total MLS, was only up 9% in listings. So our rate of growth is more than double that of the market at large. And that trend is showing up everywhere in these numbers, both in the month of May and year to date. And knock on wood, I don't want to jinx anything. June's off to a really fantastic start. And so we're very excited about the potential to power through and continue to stack big months on top of each other, knowing what that means to our clients, knowing what it means to your businesses, and knowing what it means to your life by design. Speaking of folks interested in a life by design, please help me welcome all of these wonderful new additions to the Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan family. We are very excited to have them joining us, joining the party, and getting them underway with their real estate business. We have individuals starting out as solo agents. We have individuals converting from administrative and transaction support into real estate agents, and individuals coming right on to join teams. So we really spread the board last month and every month, but are excited to have all of these folks with us. So please join me in welcoming them. And from new agents to agents earning 100% of their commissions, we had a monster May when it comes to capping, which we're super excited about. All of these agents now earning 100% of their commissions. And, want to call out those top three: Sophie, Scott, and Janet. Scott and Janet, first-time cappers. Sophie, second-time capper, second time in almost as many months. Sophie capped in the start of this year, reset in April, and then capped again in May. So her business is on fire. But congratulations to all of these individuals for that achievement. Speaking of people with businesses on fire, I want to do a quick agent spotlight. Danielle, if you could pin Miss Janet Hayward to the big screen. I should probably stop sharing for this segment. And let's, can we do that? Do we have Janet on? I thought I saw her.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, and good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am so well, and I am so excited to be talking to you this morning, and appreciate you carving out some time for us. It looks like you're on the move as always, but I want to set the stage here for everybody. Janet joined our company in June of last year.
Right.
And just last month in May, and within 10 months of getting a real estate license, you capped and have already had 2 or 3 deals, I believe, close at full commission going to you. And so we want to take the opportunity to make sure that everybody knew how amazing you were. And then also talk a little bit about, just what that experience is like and where you're going. So first things first, you've been with Keller Williams for just coming up on a year. But what attracted you to the company to start with?
It was the training and resources that Keller Williams is known for. So that's what ultimately attracted me to Keller Williams, because as a new agent, I wanted to come up, join a company that I was going to learn as much as I could learn about the business from. So I thought Keller Williams would be a great company to join.
Yeah. Well, we're very glad to hear that, and hope that you are not disappointed in that decision, and that you've got what
No, I'm not
you're
at
looking
all.
for. That's wonderful. So, capping it all in any environment is going to be an accomplishment. Capping, at any stage in your career is an accomplishment. Doing it in the first 10 months is awesome. What do you attribute that success to? What were the things that you focused on? What were the things that you took advantage of? What led to your success?
So for me, as a new agent, coming, or into the market during times like this, where we're always finding ourselves in a multiple offer situation. Um, there's very low inventory. It was very important for me to really apply what I've learned in my productivity coaching courses with Eric, and also the other trainings that has been offered throughout Keller Williams. It has been one thing for me to get clients. I've been focused more so on my spirit than anything. But it's
Mhm.
one thing to get clients. But again, I'm a new agent, so to be able to write contracts that's attractive enough for sellers to want to accept those offers is another thing. So again, I was only able to do that through what I've learned throughout my trainings.
Mhm.
So I've applied everything that I've learned. Um, Again, I've applied everything that I've learned
Yeah.
um, to 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 help me,
Yeah.
I guess.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you made the decision to be a part of the family here, because of the training and the resources offered, and then you came in and you took advantage of them to win for your clients. And I think that you're right. For some folks, securing the clients is the hard part. Getting the deal done is the easy part. For other folks, it's securing the clients is easy, but executing the deal is hard. We're all different, and so your ability to recognize that and lean in where the resources, could best serve you is amazing. So, last question for you here this morning. Strong first year in the business, right? Or still in
Mhm.
strong and getting stronger, right? We still have another 22 days until you technically will have your anniversary. So, what's on deck for next year? What's the goal for the second year in the business?
So I am a dual career agent. So I do have another full-time career. And the goal for me is to transition out of the other career and make make real estate my sole um, career.
Wow.
So what I'm focusing on is what do I need to do to achieve that?
Hmm.
How many homes do I need to sell on a monthly basis um, to be able to do that?
Hmm.
So just continuing to grow my pipeline and getting more deals. So again, I just want to transition out of my other career.
Absolutely amazing that you are somehow finding the way to do this, with a full time job and a few kiddos running around as well, as I understand.
I have 4 kids.
4 kids, a full time
Four
job,
kids.
and an absolutely on fire real estate business. Janet, I really appreciate you popping on here and having a quick chat with us to celebrate you and to be an example for other agents in terms of what's possible when we lean in and focus. So, thank you so very much.
Thank you. And then, I also want to thank the leadership team as well, because it's also important for me that all of you have been very accessible. Whenever I email or I send a text, whether it's you, Mike, or Danielle, or Carrie, or Eric, you're very responsive. I know that, you're working with so many other agents. So I think that's very important. To continue that. So again, I appreciate that and I
Yeah,
appreciate all of you. And so thank you because that's
yeah,
helped me.
absolutely. Well, listen, we love hearing from you. We love hearing from all of our agents. It means the world for us to be put into a position to help other people succeed. It's what's led us to where we are, and what's going to take us to the next level. We love it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.
Thank you. You do the same.
All right, guys, that was terrific. On to the next one. Here's some upcoming training. So every Tuesday morning we have a really awesome full slate for you. Today's no different. So we're going to be talking about tuning up your 2021 business plans. Next week, we're going to be recapping an awesome event that is coming this Thursday with Mr. Jeff Glover, which is taking 21 listings in 21 days. On June 22nd, we're going to be having a really powerful conversation about understanding your 5 sources of wealth. So there's this commonly understood or held belief, or maybe it's just a trope, but if it works, right? And that is that your average millionaire has 5 sources of income or of wealth. And so we're going to be having a conversation about how that is more possible, more accessible, and more likely with a career in real estate than in any other industry. And then we will round out the month, as we have been really having a lot of fun doing with it, which is just a large scale market center update. We'll hear from all members of the leadership teams, maybe a few other surprise guests along the way. Your calendar for June is right here. We are already 1 week in. And so we are excited for a few special events this month. Again, mentioned the listings on Thursday, take 21 listings, 21 ways to take 21 listings. And then want to give a shout out. If you are an investor, if you own an investment property, or you work predominantly with investors, right? Please shoot me a text, send me an email, and let's make sure that you're involved with our investor mastermind. So one thing that we've done as an organization this year is we've started to focus on building communities for our agents around what's most important to them or what's most important to their business. And so the Investor Mastermind is a way for us to get resources and conversations to agents who are investors, right? Who are leaning into that millionaire real estate investor, or who are working primarily with investors. So we have a great mastermind on the morning of the 16th in the Rocky River training room, 9 a.m. That's going to be focused on 2 things: better understanding how to leverage property management for you and your clients. And then 2, we have someone from the Cleveland Metro Housing Authority coming in to talk to us about their voucher programs and some of those tricky changes to the lead-based paint disclosures. So make sure you have that. And as always, we've got gangs of people in the Rocky River and Pepper Pike office doing power hours from 9 to 11 a.m. every day of the week, making their calls, generating those leads. Last call for Jeff Glover this Thursday morning at the Woodside Event Center in Broadview Heights. It's right off 77. Guys, if you have been to Jeff Glover before, you know how powerful and impactful his presentations can be, and the pages of notes that you're gonna leave with. If you have not been to Jeff Glover before, you should be there. You must experience this. Jeff is a guy who runs an outstanding team in Detroit, sells over 1,000 units a year with his team, over 100 units himself as a rainmaker on that team. And we're not bringing that. Jeff is not a guy from the fastest growing city in the United States, right? He is not a guy from some coastal area or Las Vegas where they're building homes faster than they're building buffets. Jeff's from Detroit, right? That is a very relevant apples to apples, as much as we might hate to admit it sometimes here in Cleveland. It's a relevant comparison to us. So he's doing it in a relevant market. And so his message is not going to be anything short of immediately applicable to your business. And so if you've somehow missed that this is what's going on this Thursday from 9 to noon, there's the link at the bottom, 21wayscleveland.eventbrite.com. If you're having trouble with that, just reach out to myself, Danielle, Julia, Carrie, Sierra, any of us, and we will help you get squared away for a very awesome opportunity this Thursday morning at 9 a.m. And then Thursdays all throughout June, we are revisiting the Your First Deal series. So if it's been a while since you've done a deal, if you are new to the organization within the last few months, if you're new to the organization in the last 6 months and you're just now getting your pipeline to start to come through the bottom of the funnel, this is a great way for you to get a strong understanding of mortgage and title and inspection. And we've had a lot of success with this series, led by our partners who we're going to hear from in a minute. And we intend to expand this moving forward. And as always, anything that we do, including this meeting and that last little interview with Janet, is going to show up on our YouTube page. So if you miss something, you can't make something, you got an inspection scheduled over, some awesome program, please log on Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan YouTube channel, and all of our trainings are available there. Couple of save the dates here for you. Is on June 30th in our Pepper Pike office and July 1st in our Rocky River office. Guys, I don't know how else to tell you this. We miss you. We miss seeing you in person. We love the opportunity to get together. A couple of events that we've had in person, the energy is just insane. It's through the roof. So we decided that we were going to throw a couple parties in each one of the offices. So please mark these on your calendar. This is the week leading into the 4th of July, the Independence Day holiday. So we're very exciting to kick things off a little bit early, but we're going to be having some food and drink available in each one of our offices on those days. And we just want to bring everybody back together, get everyone to meet each other. You realize that in the last 12 months that we've been in a pandemic or making our way out of it, we've had close to 170 agents join this office. And those are some amazing people. All right. We just heard from one of them, and I'm sure that you've bumped into a lot of great people on some of your deals. And how much fun would it be to just get together, socialize, have some fun, and get back in the groove of being together? The other thing that I'd like to point out is that the majority of our promos and graphics are made by Danielle and Carrie. This one was made by me. I think it looks a lot like theirs. I think that it gets the message across. However, judging by some of the faces that I'm seeing on my screen, that might not be the case. So this will be the last time that I do that. And that'll be the last thing I say about training, to throw it over to Danielle, who's going to talk about a ridiculously awesome event that we have coming up next month.
Hey, good morning. I was actually in the process of putting like a disclaimer in the chat box, like this was not created by the ladies on the leadership team. We will get a better promo out to you guys in the next 2 days for the welcome party. So we want to talk about the summer masterminds this morning. You guys received maybe 1 or 2 emails from us. This is on July 15th. We know you guys are busy. We are intending to make the calendars for the summer light with the just top classes that we're offering. So the Summer Masterminds is the big one in July. This is going to be hosted at Mayfield Country Club. It's going to be a 3-hour event. There are different breakouts that you can join. So we have luxury, breaking into luxury, thank you, wealth building. So look at these top agents, becoming your local economist. Ryan Young is going to be joining us and teaching at 2 of the sessions for taking listings in today's market. So it's going to be a great event. Again, there's different panels that you can join in on. We are firming up a few more attendees and panelists to join us. So we'll drop that link in the chat box for you. If you guys have any questions on it, feel free to reach out to us. But like I said, 3-hour event. This is going to be the big one in July. So save the date. It will go from 10 to 1 at Mayfield Country Club.
Awesome.
And then, as we do every month, we're hosting career nights. So the first one is tomorrow evening at 4 p.m. It'll be in Pepper Pike, in Rocky River, and via Zoom. So if you know somebody that we should be talking to, please invite them. You can also join them. And we'll pick on you a little bit and ask you about your experience at Keller Williams. But this is a good place to get anybody who might be interested in the career, has mentioned it to you once or twice. Just send them here and let us do the work for you. And then we're hosting another one on the 29th. These are also hosted via Zoom. So if you want the link, again, just message one of us, Mike or myself, and we can get you the link via Zoom as well. But they are in person and via Zoom. So bring somebody with you or invite them, and we'll post this promo for you to share out. And then I think the last thing on here is you guys saw this promo yesterday. We want to hear from you. So we sent out the summer Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan Survey. I'll drop it in the comments for you guys. We just want to know what it is that you need. I feel like we took this a little bit in May. We had a really busy training calendar, and now we know to make it light for the rest of the summer for you guys. So we want to know what else you need. Do you need command training? Do you need tax planning training? Sorry, there's stuff going on in the background over here. What is it that you need? How are we doing? Everything is anonymous, so please fill that out. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you guys need. I think that's it for me, Mike.
Danielle, thank you so much for leading the charge on this. You know, there's something that we have on the wall of the third floor in Pepper Pike, and it's built by agents for agents, right? And I think that can easily just be seen as a platitude or something that we say to make people feel good. But this is a great example of how this is, to the agents, this is your company, and whatever you need to build your business, whatever you need to feel like you're in the best position to deliver on the vision, right? For us to be the real estate company of choice, this is going to provide us great insights. So thank you, Danielle, for bringing that together, and thank you for everyone that's filled out the survey. And please, if you haven't, please do. And take the kid gloves off. We want to know what we can do better. All right. So some quick updates from KWRI. Mega Camp dates have been announced. Mega Camp is officially on the calendar. So please mark this. We are going to, so a quick update here on, hey, what's going on? Are we in person? Is it going to be virtual again? The city of Austin, Texas, where Mega Camp is hosted, has a cap on the number of people who can be at one single event. That is 2,500 individuals. And so Gary decided that the most important people for him to spend time with would be the top 2,500 agents to get the best sense of what's going on. So those folks will be invited in person. It will still be a mega virtual event, and we will have opportunities for everybody to get involved, to gather as we have at the last Mega Camp and Family Reunion. But just save that on your calendar right now. Don't be planning any last minute summer vacations, because we'll be mega camping together. Last call for Quantum Leap Summit 2021. So this is a great program put on by KW Kids Can, and it's a program that is focused on those agents and individuals in our communities or in our market centers who are under 28 years or younger. In terms of getting a strong foundation to a strong career in real estate, but more importantly, building that life by design. So if you have not heard about this, if you are interested in this, it does start this Thursday. It's Thursday and Friday. Please shoot me a text, drop something in the chat box, and we'll get you the information that you need. And the last thing that popped up, a really cool advancement in Command, is the opportunity to create neighborhood-specific smart videos. So we've seen the smart neighborhood nurture smart plans where it emails out an update. We know that video wins in social media. You got to stop the scroll, right? And so you take those neighborhood stats and you can weave them into customized neighborhood-specific videos branded to you. So very cool video upgrade in Command that we wanted to make sure everybody was aware of. And I believe that's going to take us to the partner updates. So I am going to hit pause here. And I think we ran a little long this morning. I know Jess Giota or Jess Ivins. So bad. Sorry, Jess. If you could give us, you're here. I know you gotta hop. So I'm just going to shut up and let you talk.
Okay, sounds good. Hi, everybody. Jess Ivins here with Greater Metropolitan Management. I wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be in the Rocky River office next Wednesday for the investor mastermind that Mike was talking about this morning. So if you guys are interested in hearing or chatting with me about property management and opportunities there, you can catch me next Wednesday at the office. I'm also going to be sponsoring our summer mastermind at the Mayfield Country Club. I'm super excited about that. So I will also be there if you guys want to chat about property management. And just a reminder that we are offering only to you, our agents, a $50 referral for any of your clients or anybody that you know that signs up with property management. So definitely this is a great way for you to do some lead generation, reaching out to your past clients, friends, family, anybody that you know who is looking to buy investment properties or who you think needs to switch management companies or hire management companies. So I'm always happy to give you guys some tools and resources to have those conversations, or if you just want to make the introduction and pass them over to me, that would be awesome. We've already had a couple agents who have taken advantage of that and received $50. So definitely please keep sending me people. We love it. And I'm always here to answer any questions you guys have. So maybe I'll see you next week or in July.
Thank you so much, Jess. We're excited to have you as a part of that investor mastermind and appreciate you leaning in as a partner and sponsor for the summer masterminds. It's going to be awesome. All right. And I know that you have you've got a call that probably started 2 minutes ago. So thank you so much for hanging on with us. We appreciate it.
Bye.
All right. Next up, you know them, you love them. They close the deals for you. Like Sean, you started smiling a little early there. Like you knew I was going to throw it over to you with the know them, love them. All right. I was going to actually just say Don. I wasn't even going to introduce you, Sean. All right. So Sean Hadley, Don Jarecki from Cross Country Mortgage, guys. Love to see you on here. What's the latest and greatest? What are we looking at for the back half of the year here with mortgage?
Yeah, I thought the midpoint would be kind of a good time just to take a look at, where we are. We'll start with interest rates. Obviously, we're in a great spot still, kind of hanging around that 3% point, a little bit under, a little bit over some days, depending on the loan program. And, we were forecasted to be kind of a bit higher in the mid threes right now. In fact, I did check in this morning just with the last mortgage MBA forecast. They expect rates in the third quarter to be around 3 3/8, so a little bit higher than the current market. And just for fun, I looked to see where they expect us to be spring of next year, and they're estimating 4%. So inflation, anytime right now, the market's just consistently going to be on edge. Anytime there's an announcement from the Fed or any talk, any fears of inflation, we'll save that for another talk about how inflation impacts interest rates. But inflation is bad for interest rates. You're borrowing money at a fixed rate today based on today's dollar, and if dollar is weaker in the future, that hurts interest rates. So basically anything you hear in the news about inflation is going to be bad for rates. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. Here we are a year and 3 months basically into the pandemic. And as Mike said, kind of crawling out of it. It's been exciting, in the mortgage world and the real estate world. And the cool part about Cross Country is just the growth. We've boosted our employee count by 25% as a company, from around 5 to upwards of about 7,000, actually even more than 25%. And, a lot of companies are backing off kind of in the fear that there's going to be a plateau or a drop in business and are laying off, and Cross Country is still keeping pace with production and still hiring. We've had that with Chris Bullock added to our team. We've added a new processor to our internal team as well here. So it's been great. And, now more than ever, I think obviously with this market, it's still kind of an all hands on deck. Everybody's, pushed to the brink with business and trying to maintain. We've done a very good job. We have the statistics to show in terms of production, but also our closing dates. We're consistently hitting closing dates. So, again, now more than ever in this market, I think you as your realtor want to know all the partners you're working with. So, we encourage you to kind of reach out to us and we'll do the same, kind of try and keep in contact. The analogy I've given before, and it's a silly one, but if someone were to go to a play and see 5 actors who know Shakespeare, you can get through a Romeo and Juliet and get the plot and probably enjoy yourself. But if those 5 actors have been working with each other for years, it's going to be a much better show. Don asked if I try and make this analogy more about Ocean's 11, so he could be Clooney and I can be Pitt, and new guy Chris could be Matt Damon. And feel free to put in the chat bar who Mike Rapaski would be. But anyway, just, that analogy, I think just knowing who you're working with, it's a better customer experience. But Don, go ahead. No segue to you here.
Honest to God, how do I follow that? I mean, that's just, I can't. But, I just want to reiterate, both myself and Sean, Chris too, are more than willing to call listing agents on your offers to help sell you and the borrower themselves. Just 10 days ago, I made a call to a listing agent for an FHA offer. the call did make the difference. The borrower got the offer accepted. I even offered to go out to the house ahead of time to look at the house to give an idea of what may or may not be needed in the form of an appraisal. The seller or listing agent was not concerned about the condition of the home. They just want to know about the borrower. And we just stressed just how strong our borrower was, even though it was FHA. So these calls do work, guys, and take advantage of that from us.
Wow, that is a huge piece of leverage there. And, one of the signs, just talking to agents in the last 10 days, we're starting to see, guys, if you got FHA buyers, 2 months ago would have felt like, there's no way that was going to get through, get through the filter. But now we're seeing, multiple a week. I hear from people that are getting it done, and it's by leveraging partners like this and making sure that you're in communication and everybody is in communication with that listing agent about what it actually means. So thank you so much, guys. And I really appreciate the comparison to George Clooney, at least that's the way I heard it. So I appreciate that, Sean. All right, next up, we'll throw it over to Gina Legeza with America's Preferred Home Warranty. Hello and good morning, Gina.
Good morning, Michael. Thanks for having me. When I think about our agents and tuning up their business plan for 2021 with our home warranty, a couple things come to mind in the market that we're in right now, and that's gaining and protecting their referral tree in this market that we're in right now. We know this market is not what it was last year. It's not what it was 3 months ago. It's ever changing. What will happen to that referral tree when maybe their entire HAVAC system will go down after they've came up maybe $30,000, $40,000 after over asking? Can they afford more? What about the clients, and Don, I'm sure, can speak to this, and Sean, that need to have a clean offer? And the warranty, the mindset of the agents is taking the warranty out. Where is that protection for that client when we know over 70% of homeowners experience a major system failure in the first 30 days? What about the fact that Don and Sean know this, inspections are being waived in this market. People are buying sight unseen. So my new slogan, Michael, instead of putting a ring on it, because I already got my ring, put a warranty on it. Put a warranty on it. Also another thing I think of for our fabulous agents who are just growing and prospering in this market more than any other market center is, how about data collections? Getting more revenue. So who has a pie giveaway in the fall? Maybe there's a client party you want to do for your clients. Maybe there's your favorite cherry. Every time you sell a home warranty, you're getting $50. And there were some questions, Michael, in our new form. Do they have to fill out section A and B? No, you don't. You can choose to fill out the appliance names or check the home facts. You do not have to do both. So make sure your client's protected in this market. As your partner, I'm going to help see it through every step of the way to make sure your referral tree prospers, make more money so you can do whatever you want for your clients, to have a party to say thank you to them in the coming months. And that is two surefire ways to make sure you are tuning up your business plan through our home warranty program.
Love that. Thank you so much. Such great insights, as always, Gina, and appreciate your partnership and support for all of our agents.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Now we'll throw it over to, we'll bring it home with Ms. Jade Tishka from Greater Metropolitan Title and Escrow Services. Jade, looking at the back half of the year, what's on deck for you all?
Hey everyone. We are busier than ever over at GM. We are literally, we've never seen volume like this. So you guys are keeping us quite busy over there, which is a good thing, of course. And I just wanted to kind of go over seller information sheets today and why that is so important in order to close on time. What we do when we open an order is we automatically send out seller information sheets to the seller. Please, just a reminder, please provide contact information for the seller, such as an email address and a phone number. Otherwise, they cannot go out. But what is on the seller information sheets is any information pertaining to the property, any liens, any mortgages, We need loan numbers for those mortgages in order to get a payoff. So that information is provided on there. Also, anything we need that involves an authorization from a seller, that is also on those forms. So if we need to talk to anybody, we need to fax those forms over to them, and pretty much it says on there, the seller is we are authorized to talk to whoever we need in order to get what we need for closing. Any HOA information is on there. Pretty much anything that we need in order to process this file and clear title is on there. So without these getting back to us as soon as possible, it is really hard for us to close on time. So just a heads up, just make sure when you're using GM to let them know that those forms are on their way. It is not junk mail. Please open them, fill them out as soon as possible, and send them back to us. So that's pretty much my update for today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And glad to hear that things are rocking and rolling over there at GM Title. We're excited to keep funneling the business over there. All right, guys. So as we bring this home to the bottom of the hour, I want to lean into this conversation around the business plan tune-up. Now, for those of you who are new to the organization, you will get the opportunity in the fall, in late October, early November, to participate in the business planning clinic. And this is a full day soup to nuts experience where we break down the economics of your business, the leads required to drive that business, the database management, the budgetary guidelines that you'll need to follow, and then how you want to structure your organization amongst employees and partners to really make that business hum. That's a full day event, right? And we'll be planning out all of 2022. What we want to do today as we approach the halfway point in the year is just take a quick minute to step back, catch our breath, and revisit a few key components of our real estate business. So the first thing that we want to touch on, as you'll find, we start most Keller Williams events talking about, is our mindset, right? And the mindset is typically driven by, or you'll hear it referred to as, your big why, right? So your big why is what you are aiming at in life. And when we aim at really big things, right, problems will manifest themselves all around it, and we will navigate them on our way to our big why. And this is consistency amongst all successful people. There are no easy paths, right? And so when we're committed to our whys, right, what we want out of our lives, what we want out of our families, the way that we want to live, the impacts that we want to have, that helps us navigate problems. What I want you to think about today is the intersection, especially in this market, of your client's why, right? So they have a why in their life as well. And I think it's really important, with as crazy as the times are, as aggressive as the market is, right? We are flying from task to task. We don't want to lose sight of our why, but our clients are also getting heavily invested in properties and opportunities and offers that may not be coming to fruition for them. And that's leading to an unprecedented amount of stress for them. And I think that as we view the other agents in any offer, the other agents in the office as partners, we can look at our clients as partners as well. And I'm reminded of the Zig Ziglar line, which is that if you help enough people get what they want, you can have whatever you want. And so whenever we overlap what we're trying to accomplish and the reasons for that, and what our clients are trying to accomplish and reasons for that, we get into the why on that deal, on that client, on that opportunity. And I think that drives us more towards the best of what our profession, our chosen profession, has to offer. When we are integrating our goals and the outcomes, the best outcomes for our clients together, we will find the decisions a lot easier to make, the contracts a lot easier to write. And so ensuring that we're making that connection there is a big part of powering through this wild market that we're in, and also securing clients for life and a stream of never-ending referrals. So with our mindset in check, right, we're halfway through the year. The next thing that we have to manage is time, right? And I was having a conversation a week ago, and somebody brought up the idea of time blocking. And I think that it's something that we talk about a lot organizationally, but I don't know if we ever actually took the time, or for some people, they hear it, they think they understand it, but what exactly is time blocking? Well, in the most practical sense, right, it is reserving time on your calendar in your schedule for specific activities, right? So if you open up your calendar right now and it is white space, you are not time blocking, right? If there's a lot of white space on your calendar and there's some things blocked off, you're doing it a little bit. What you want to understand as you approach time blocking is, where are you investing your time and energy and resources on a daily and weekly basis? And once you get a snapshot of that, right, you can start to make adjustments. So how do you actually do it though? First thing you do is lean into your values. What's most important to you? What do you want to prioritize? Right? And I hope that for the people who have chosen this profession, for the flexibility and the opportunity to spend more time with their families, the opportunity to go on vacations, whenever they want, or whatever it is, you start there, right? If you know that the kids want to go to the zoo, or that you've got a trip to Disney, that's the first thing that goes on your calendar for that month or quarter. And then you build your world around that. Remember what we said, when you have that aim, when you have that why, the world manifests itself around it. You don't go through life and then end up with what you end up with. We choose where we want to go. And our time blocking is the most practical way to do that, right? So how do you actually do it? Start with family time, time for yourself, and lead generation time should be the first three things that go on your calendar. Then, once those are reserved and the world comes at you, we need to schedule the inspection. I'd like you to come over and do a listing appointment. I'd like A, B, or C, or this happened or that happened, or we got to put out this fire. You fit those in. You fit those in around what you've reserved in your time block, and you protect those three most important things. So what should you avoid is, avoid the distractions, avoid the fire drills, avoid the somebody else's lack of preparation leads to your emergency, right? And the more we time block, the more time we'll feel like we have to deal with all the little things, which will then open up even more time for the first few. So a few things to think about. If you're like, wow, this sounds great, I would love the time block. How can I maximize this, right? Like, this sounds great. I've tried it before. There are two main ways that you can honor your time block and honor your calendar to help you achieve your goals. Number one is the idea of leaning into your community, right? I mentioned earlier in this call that we have folks that will come in and dial the phone for a couple hours, a few days a week. There's always somebody 5 days a week in here making calls. If you are around other people who are doing the thing that you have set aside time to do, you are much more likely to do it, right? And so, when it comes to influences from our community, there are the close, right? The many and the powerful, right? So if you get around people who do a lot of lead generation, you get around a lot of people who do a lot of lead generation, and you spend time with successful people who do lead generation, you yourself will be able to maximize that. It goes the same for the gym. It goes the same for health and wellness. It goes the same for vacations, whatever it is, lean into a community. And the second way is to make sure that you're building a bunker, right? To avoid those distractions. So, it's just getting pretty into the minutia, but the amount of time that you might set aside for lead generation, that then the phone rings for something else, or you want to go to the gym and you spend the 15 minutes prior to walking into the gym talking on the phone in your car, dealing with some issue, right? You have to protect that time block by putting the phone on do not disturb, making sure that you have snacks and water at your desk so you're not milling about when you could be making phone calls. The opportunity there is to trick yourself into just doing the thing that you want to do. And so we'll definitely be exploring this concept more in some future trainings, but guys, with anything that we talk about here today or anything that we ever talk about, if you want to sit down with a member of the leadership team, with myself, and or a member of the Agent Leadership Council and talk through, hey, what's working, what's not working, how do I do this better? That's what we're here for. So now we're leaning into the actual business plan portion. And so I'm gonna go through this at a fairly high level, but the most important thing to understand as you look out over the next 6 months, right, is your business through the first half of the year is the result of a few different things. The time and resources, let's call it money, right? If you're investing in some sort of lead generation software, you're investing in lead generation, you're investing in transaction coordination, whatever it is, you've made some form of investment in your business. And it could just be time. Don't feel like, oh, I'm not spending money, I'm doing it wrong. No, it could just be the time. Then there's the performance piece, right? This is, whether or not you're leveraging the training, right? We heard from Janet about taking advantage of productivity coaching and getting better at the things that you need to get better at. If you need help with lead generation, get that help. If you need help with writing contracts, get that help. And then there's the things that you actually do. And then finally, the resources that are available to you, whether it's technology, appointments, leveraging talent, whatever it is, those two things blend together. Can you tell that I love Venn diagrams, by the way? Those two things blend together, and that's what gives you your outcomes. So if you take nothing else from the conversation today, just know that the business that you have today is going to be and always will be a result of the investments that you make and the way that you perform. And if you need help with either of those, all you need to do is raise your hand. We'll sit down and we'll figure out how we can best support, which side of the circle that's going to drive the outcomes to your goal level, right? Doesn't have to be to the highest level possible. What's most important to you? How do we get you there? Now, I'm going to fly through this mathematical model here, but what I want you to understand is knowing your numbers is important, right? And if you take a look at this last graph, right, for the first 6 months of the year, you've had outcomes. You have a gross commission, you have net income, you have a result, right? And so if we want to change that, right, we're going to think about what is the net income I want to make? How much did I say I was going to spend? What's the cost of a sale, which for an individual agent, there isn't one. And then what's the total gross commission income that I need to earn to hit my net income? We're going to work backwards since everybody likes to make $100,000, right? From $100,000, assume higher than average expenses. Take the average commission for this office, which actually we're going to have to update this because I think it's higher than $5,000 now, given the appreciation in the market, right? That means that you would have, then this is an annualized number. Say you have to sell 30 units, right? And if we take our conversion rate, right? You go on a lot of appointments, you might not sell every buyer that you have, right? And then you might not get every buyer that you go on an appointment with. I don't know what your numbers are. If you don't know, assume 70 to 80%. If you do know, then you'll know exactly what you have to do, right? But your path to your financial outcome is going to be through appointments. And that's what we're going to narrow this down to, so that you know at the end of each week, on a week-to-week basis, have I succeeded in making my business plan? Well, take that number of appointments. Let's say that you want to make $100,000 in the next 6 months. There's 26 weeks. That's going to come down to about 2.5 appointments a week, right? You're going to have to go on about 10 appointments a month. Have you done that? Yes or no? And if you haven't, revisit those investments, revisit those behaviors, and run the cycle again. And I know that we went through this very quickly, and I will offer it again. Anybody who wants to tap into that, please don't hesitate to reach out. Love doing it. Your big takeaways here: to know your numbers, right? Know where you are and know where you want to be. Focus on appointments, and then start tracking it weekly, right? And if it's just, put a tally mark on your whiteboard on the number of appointments that you went on. And if it's, not 2.5 this week, it's got to be 3 next week. All right. And the last thing we'll touch base on is lead generation, right? He who controls the leads controls the business. And so for you, to control your leads, right? And getting them into your database and then communicating with them consistently will ultimately put you in a position to succeed and have an abundance of opportunities to hit your goal. I think it's really important to understand that when we talk about lead generation, we are not talking about deal generation, right? This, there's a lot of pay to play environments out there that have created algorithms to identify people close to the bottom of the funnel so that when we go buy leads, we're expecting to buy transactions. What I want you to think about is anybody that you can have a two-way conversation with about real estate, that's a lead. When they know you and like you and trust you, that's a contact, right? When they move down into the bottom half of the funnel and they want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, they've now become a client, right? So your goal, you cannot control the rate at which somebody goes from being a lead to a contact to a client. All you want to control right now, all you want to control at any time in your business is the number of people that you can get in as a lead, right? And then you, being who you are and the way you do things, are going to generate opportunities to move them over into contact. And then life, right? Birth, death, marriage, divorce, promotion, and demotion are going to lead to reasons for them to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. So let's talk about ways to generate more leads. You want to focus on filling your funnel. As an office, we are always looking for more ways to put more opportunities in front of you as agents, right? So whether it's the FSBO and expired list, email Sierra at the front desk 297@kw.com, and get added to the weekly expired list, right? Pay attention to when Sierra throws out her information around opportunity time, right? We have had agents close millions of dollars of business just by signing up to have calls to the office forwarded to their cell phone, right? So take advantage of those, because everybody who calls in, whether they buy the next day or not, they're going to be a lead. They're going to be somebody that's an opportunity for you. There are a number of relocation and referral networks that are available that put you in a position to know people who are coming in and out of, and most of these are community-based. You probably have some, whether it's with your religious group, your last profession, the company that your spouse works for. There's some sort of environment out there that if you went and picked at, you would identify people that are coming to Cleveland or leaving Cleveland that are going to be opportunities for you. The other one here that I'll ask Julia to, if you guys haven't heard of it, it's called OpCity. It is a referral network. I think it's owned by Realtor.com now, but it is an opportunity for you to get leads through OpCity. You pay on the back end like you do with any referral or relocation network, but there's no money up front. And in the first few weeks that we've leaned into getting more agents involved with this opportunity, it's a great way to add to your deal flow. We've had agents get their business in flight. In their first year, they did 10 deals with OpCity. Now they're not doing any because they've captured all of these clients that are then becoming their referral source, right? And then finally, get your sphere in gear, right? The people that are closest to us, that know us and like us and trust us, if we are not consistently reminding them that we are in real estate, or consistently asking them, right, who they know, who wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, we're not putting ourselves in a position to maximize those relationships. And then, as Eric Akbar is wont to say, the fortune is in the follow-up, and that lead generation will get you a deal, but lead follow-up will get you a business. And so I encourage you all, as we hit the halfway point of the year, go back through your calendar. Who did you have a meeting with? Who did you have an appointment with? Who did you have coffee with? And go back through your loops or your rooms for DocuSign, right? And take a look at who you wrote offers for in February that say things just petered out, right? Go back to the folks who you've been a great real estate agent for and ask them for referrals before you even close the deal. If you're busting it for a client and they know you've written 5 offers for them and you're trying like hell, you have earned the right for a referral from that person. You do not have to wait till the transaction closes. So go back, have the conversations with folks that you've worked with in the past 6 years, past 6 months, past 6 days, doesn't matter, right? Everybody that you know needs a touch from you to know that you're in real estate and that you can help. And that is the most important thing that you can do from a lead generation standpoint. So to recap quickly, and then because I know we're over time, get your mindset aligned with your client, set your time to match your goals, understand from an economic standpoint where you are, where you're going, and how to get there through appointments. And then finally, focus on leads and the rest will follow. All right. So again, apologize for running late, guys. It was a big day for us. A lot of ground covered. I will throw it out there one more time. If you need a further conversation, you want to work through the economic model more, you want to better understand that lead to contact to client cascade, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or any other member of the leadership team. We are here to help, and we are thrilled at the success that you all have had in the first 6 months of this year, or just under 6 months of this year. And we are here to support you to do it again in the next 6 months for a great 2021. And if you just saw it, Danielle threw the survey in the chat one more time. Please feedback. Take the survey. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what we can do to better serve you. And we will see you here next week, 9:30 a.m.